Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Trill Gates. Governor Mike Dunleavy is responding amid immigration protests in Alaska. He says the state will be reimbursed for the 40 detainees being held here. Your Alaska Link's LaShawn Donaldson has more on that and reaction from the community.
No ICE, no KKK, no fascist USA!
About 25 people gathered inside the parking lot of Anchorage Correctional Complex, marching, chanting, and holding signs that read, "Abolish ICE and stop trafficking immigrants." The group showed up in support of those being held inside. Alaskans are deeply concerned as 40 immigrants are detained at the Anchorage Correctional Complex, calling for immediate action.
We believe that these people should not be detained. We believe that they should be able to be reunited with their families. They're human beings. What is happening across the country right now is a gross violation of human rights.
Wake up, wake up.
Alaskans are worried about immigration raids, including what could happen in the state.
I'm a daughter of immigrants, and I know all of the obstacles that this community had to jump through. I'm concerned that some people here might be taken away.
We want them to know that Anchorage sees them and the communities here support their existence.
It's essential as good Jews to stand in solidarity with the oppressed.
Toward the end, police asked the group to move outside the gates after complaints from jail staff. The protest ended peacefully after a few final songs. Governor Dunleavy is also weighing in, saying ICE has used Alaska prisons before and the state will be reimbursed. Organizers plan to continue for 30 days, matching the time detainees are expected to stay in custody. LaShawn Donaldson, Your Alaska Link.
Alaska wildlife troopers confirmed that additional human remains have been recovered in Kachemak Bay. 4 members of the Maynard family from Texas were reported missing back in August of 2024. Just last month, dive teams finally located the family's sunken boat near Homer and recovered 3 sets of remains. An autopsy will now be done on a 4th set of remains just found this week. But troopers say they believe all 4 members of the missing Maynard family have now been recovered. In Anchorage, a task force that's meant to help prevent pedestrian deaths is out with a new report. In 2024, 15 pedestrians were killed in the city. Just 6 months into 2025, we've already seen 8 deaths. In its report, the Vision Zero Task Force focuses on roads like Tudor and Muldoon, where speed feedback signs have been put up to urge drivers to slow down. The task force is pushing for changes like limiting right-on-red turns. Members also want to add more rest and walk signals, which give more opportunities for people to cross streets safely. The city of Anchorage is now rolling back its mandatory ID check for alcohol sales. The rule was short-lived, lasting only about 3 months. Your Alaska Link's Ian Stewart checks in with bar and restaurant owners about the change.
Effective immediately, the mandatory ID check is no longer required.
After just 3 months of being in effect, the mandatory ID check faced a lot of pushback from business owners and patrons alike.
Cheyenne Selman, the manager at Club Paris, is already relieved.
It'll make it easier for customers, less explanations. I think customers will be happier about it. I think we'll see some regulars come back in again who hadn't.
She feels that it's probably for the best.
And customers got frustrated and nothing was easy about it. I can see what they're trying to do with the red stripe, but they just needed to, I think, write it a little bit better.
Shannon Sarich, the owner of Cajun Corner, just learned about it and was excited to hear the news. She felt that it was a waste of time and money.
I'm grateful that it didn't last as long as some of the other things that have taken the taxpayers' money that had 0 results. So 2 months isn't as bad as something happening for years with 0 results.
She's a bit frustrated that neither she nor others in the industry were consulted from the start. She feels that if they had been, the project wouldn't have moved forward.
When we invest our tax money into anything, do we ever really get consulted anyhow? It just happens, and then we wonder, well, we never signed for that. Well, we never had a meeting about that. Well, nobody ever asked me. And being a business owner, I'm pretty sure everybody around here pays a pretty chunky tax bill.
Both Cheyenne and Shannon are now looking forward to business as usual. Ian Stewart, Your Alaska Link, Anchorage.
Also at this week's meeting, the Anchorage Assembly passed an ordinance that allows kids to ride the public bus for free. This means anyone under the age of 18 can hop aboard the People Mover and get a ride to the park, work, or a community event without having to pay a dime. The current cost for kids to ride the bus in Anchorage is $1. The new free fares rule will officially take effect next month. Many communities are enjoying some summer warmth, but we do also want to talk about a flood watch that's been put in effect. For that, we'll turn to senior meteorologist Alyssa Triplett. Hi, Alyssa.
Hey, Jarrell. And that flood watch is in place here for portions of the North Slope. As what we are noting is that flood watch will go into place starting on Friday due to there being a big snow melt ongoing, as there is still a very dense snowpack across the Brooks Range and into the North Slope. And with that summer warmth extending across the state, that is going to lead into some rapid snow melt, which is going to lead into water moving into some riverways that still have ice, and then that can create some significant ice jams leading to some flooding potential. So that is what will be monitored for the North Slope. For areas stretching from the south central and the interior, it's all about the warming sunshine here through the end of the week, where we will be seeing areas like Anchorage and Fairbanks having some of their first for 70 to even 80-degree weather. Areas of the southeast, this is going to be a region that's going to be battling some scattered rain showers, but there is some dryness ahead. But I'll have more details in our 7-day in a few minutes.
Alyssa, thank you. It's now the second death of the climbing season on the mountain known to Alaskans as the Great One. A 29-year-old skier from Washington State is dead after getting caught in an avalanche. According to the National Park Service, the victim's climbing partner, a snowboarder, triggered the deadly avalanche Tuesday evening while descending the slope. The U.S. Coast Guard's new polar icebreaker, which will be home ported in Juneau, has embarked on its maiden journey. And that's how we'll begin our trip around Alaska. The Storis, the Coast Guard's first new polar icebreaker in more than 25 years, is meant to expand U.S. presence in the Arctic Ocean. The vessel is expected to be commissioned this August in Juneau, its permanent home port, but the Coast Guard says it will be temporarily berthed in Seattle. The summer solstice may be coming up soon, but you can see it doesn't look very summer-like in parts of Lake Clark National Park in southwest Alaska. Rangers at Upper Twin Lakes are still reporting lingering snow and even regular snowfall on the surrounding peaks. The third annual Migratory Bird Festival is set to begin Thursday in Utqiagvik. The free festival offers different workshops, science talks, and bird tours, many happening at Fred Ipaluk Elementary School. According to the group Audubon Alaska, this event will also act as a launch pad for the newly finalized Utqiagvik Birding Trail. And in Sitka, the Elizabeth Peratrovich Bench is back. City and borough officials say the bench has been returned to its rightful place in the courtyard of Harrigan Centennial Hall, freshly cleaned and as beautiful as ever. That'll do it for our trip around Alaska. Anchorage has a new park that is now officially open for people to enjoy. We're talking about the Potter Marsh Watershed Park. Great Land Trust raised $6 million to make this park a reality. The land was fully acquired this winter, and it's now open to the public. While the park is not fully built yet, you can enjoy the existing foot trails and views.
It's just a great recreational opportunity for people, and the same reasons that it's hard to develop into housing are the reasons we wanted to protect it. All the streams and the wetlands on the property and the great bird habitat.
The Anchorage Parks and Rec team will be operating this spot as a public park. The community will be able to share their thoughts on possible designs and what they want to see at the new Potter Marsh Park come this fall. It's that time again. Miss Alaska Week is here, and I'm honored to be emceeing the big pageant in Anchorage. A new Miss Alaska and Miss Alaska's teen will be crowned Thursday night at the Bartlett High School auditorium. The current title holders, Jordan Naylor and Megan Roth, will both be on hand to celebrate all the contestants and, of course, their successors. The pageant starts at 6 p.m. Thursday in Anchorage. We'll have information about tickets on our website. Should be a fun time. Alyssa Triplett will have your full forecast when your Alaska Link comes right back.
Now, your Alaska Link weather for Anchorage and South Central.
We are finally getting our dose of some summer conditions, as we are noting that the rest of this week is going to be about that summer sunshine. We're even looking at Anchorage to achieve its first 70-degree day as we head towards Friday. Now, the average first 70-degree day for the Anchorage area typically occurs around June 2nd. So we're a little later than normal, but it's good to see some of this warmth on the board, as it has been pretty gloomy and wet and cool here out of our spring months. We also will note that with that type of warmth, we will keep an eye on a few rumbles, mainly near the mountains in the valley, but something to stay wary of, especially towards the weekend forecast where it is its warmest. We'll want to monitor some chances for those storms to pop up in those afternoon to evening hours, especially with our later sunset. But taking a look here at our Dewey's Marine forecast, continuing with a settled weather pattern, noting southerly winds there through the Cook Inlet, where we have some settled seas. Our outer coastal regions running across the Kenai and into the Prince William Sound, there seems to be a slight uptick in some winds that will be monitored here through Thursday into Friday, but still generally noting that southerly to westerly flow. We'll see that in the Anchorage area for our Thursday, a morning low 48 degrees and an afternoon high 66. We are hitting average finally, and even noted that we may have a temperature trend a little warmer than that. Not expected to break records, which sits at 76 back in 2013, but at least getting that digit forecasted above that average shows that we are feeling that summertime sunshine, as we are expected to keep that sunshine all day long. High pressure system is putting in the work to give us this feel. We also have, with high pressure control, very light winds, so no big concern there with that wind potential, even staying under 5 miles per hour. So it is making for a gorgeous setup. There is a wave of energy across the southeast, and we see a little bit of that cloud cover trying to extend in towards the Copper River Basin and the Prince William Sound, but overall that extent stays pretty held there off towards the east, keeping us under that column of clear skies as we'll continue that strong warmth as we head into our Fridays. Friday is going to be the better likelihood of even some widespread 70s. Daylight hours, we are at 19 hours and 15 minutes, so lots of sunshine to work with here with the summertime feel. We are noting that Wasilla and Palmer even flirting with that 70-degree threshold. We have 65 into even Whittier, 70s into the Copper River Basin, 66 into Valdez, and then Anchorage is looking at its likely chance to get towards that 70-degree threshold as well on Friday. Kenai even at 64 degrees. Now we'll continue the warm sunshine at least into our Saturday. Still dry into Sunday, but Sunday we'll see an uptick in some cloud cover as we'll be tracking some scattered showers to start off next work week.